Hey everybody, it is the interview queen Alicia Atout here, and I am super excited today because I'm reuniting with the first band I ever interviewed many years ago. Everyone, it is Jack Steadman from Bombay Bicycle Club.
How's it going?
How are you?
It feels like a long time ago.
It's crazy. I think it was like 7 or 8 years ago.
We've both changed quite a lot.
A lot. I feel like the appropriate question is, how are you? How have you been?
I'm good. I'm pretty tired. I was just telling you how our bus is broken down and we're missing 2 wheels. But I'm loving being back in North America and being on tour again. Like, I missed it a lot.
I bet. Is a lot of it feeling very fresh to you, but at the same time you're reminiscing a lot, going to the same venues, different cities?
It's weird. It's both like loads of new experiences and then also feeling like nothing's changed at all. Like when we go on stage, it's still like a really, like, the crowds are still really great singing along, and you're going to places you've been before and you've got all these memories of there, but then it makes you realize how much you've changed, which is always really interesting.
And as 5 years have gone by since you released any music, does it feel like it was that long?
Looking back, it feels like a lot, like we managed to do a lot in those 5 years.
Because it's not like you guys just stopped playing or anything.
Exactly, like me and Ed both put records out and went on tour for those and did loads of stuff, which was the whole point of taking a break, is that we had all these things that we wanted to do but didn't have the time to do. And that can kind of eat away at you, I think. That whole grass is greener notion. I don't think it's a very healthy thing to have, so we were just honest with ourselves and said, let's take some time out and actually do them.
Well, you really did surprise fans. You kind of threw everyone in a frenzy when you announced, hey, we're back, because we didn't know in what capacity. Would it only be a UK tour? Would you just be coming across the pond, album, single? What was the deal? So when you guys were kind of behind the scenes, seeing the reaction from the fans, did it feel kind of cool keeping this big secret from everyone, just waiting to tell everyone, hey, no, we're actually back and full blown?
I think there's always part of you that is really insecure and it's like, are people going to care?
Oh.
But then as soon as we announced it, it was crazy the amount of responses we got and how excited everyone was.
Well, and a lot of bands do disband. A lot of fans on the other end are thinking to themselves, are they going to come back and kind of sound the same? What's the reception going to be? So were you scared of that backlash in the same regard of you being scared maybe will people care? Just about the sound changing, staying the same.
Well, the funny thing is our sound has always changed every album. So I think our fans, we've kind of filtered out the fans that don't like that. And the ones that are still here are totally open-minded.
Yeah. Well, I love how you mentioned how they are open-minded, because obviously the band is as well. You've done everything from world music to including incredible female vocalists on it to crazy syncopations. Is there anything that Bombay wouldn't touch, though? Is there anywhere that you just wouldn't go?
Like out of respect, or because we just literally couldn't do it?
You just been feeling the realm of the band's vibe.
Probably like country-inspired trap music, I think we'd stay away from.
Country-inspired trap music?
That seems to be all the rage right now.
I'm trying to think of how that would sound. I feel like you guys could even pull it off. I wouldn't put anything past this band. That's the number one, though, nothing else really.
Well, maybe we're onto something there. Yeah, we're pretty open to anything, as everyone knows. Like, as long as it's got a good melody, then we'll have it.
Well, speaking of good melodies, Eat, Sleep, Awake, Nothing But You. Great track. And I loved hearing how you said at first you were a bit nervous when you got back in the studio together, but then it was like no time had passed. So why did that surprise you so much? Did you really think that it would be a little stiff and you'd have to get that chemistry back?
I just think you don't know what's going to happen. But it's really scary how your brain just retains all that information. It makes you realize why you can't remember such simple things like, you know, like people's names, and it's because your brain's just taken up with all this music, I suppose. So we started rehearsing and started playing songs that were even older, sort of from our first EP, and I could remember every word. Wow. And my hands just started playing the right thing on the guitar.
Muscle memory.
And it's just muscle memory.
Yeah.
But that was a great moment, I think, when we first started rehearsing together and getting back into it and just really loving it, which is what seems to disappear a lot from bands when you've been on the road for 10 years, is that just pure, very innocent enjoyment of it. So I really recommend people taking time off.
Take those 5 years, come back, make a splash, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Well, it's super exciting because in 2020, Everything Else Has Gone Wrong is going to be coming out.
Yeah.
And when you originally spread that message to everyone saying, hey, we have new music coming out, you said that it's a song or an album to go to in a time of crisis or need. So when it comes to music for you, when you're in that mood, who are some of those go-to bands?
I guess historically it's been singer-songwriters like Joni Mitchell and Nick Drake, and kind of I'd listen to the words and really relate to them. Nowadays, it's a lot of classical music, which is all instrumental, so I'm literally I've always found myself finding it difficult to express my true feelings with words, and so I've always written music, and I feel like now it's the same with me listening to records, and I'm getting a really good echo of what I'm feeling from a texture or from a melody rather than from someone literally spelling it out for me with their lyrics. It's a bit more abstract.
And it must be kind of neat for you knowing that people are going to be going to this album for that same kind of need when they are feeling down or a certain way. So,
I mean, those have always been for me the most powerful and like poignant moments on tour or just being in a band, is the personal stories that you hear from people about listening to your music when they really needed it, and it really, I don't know, it really moves all of us in the band. So we're kind of making a record precisely about that.
well, something I had to bring up with you today, because just to tie it all in, the last time I spoke with you was actually at this venue in Toronto,
Yes.
the Phoenix Concert Theatre, I think 6 years ago, dare I say. And in that interview, you mentioned how you guys love pulling pranks on each other and dares when you were actually on stage. And it's kind of hard for the fans to catch them. So have you kept that tradition going on this new tour?
Well, the thing is about those stage dares is that's really like a symptom of being road weary and being kind of like, we've been on the road for like a month now and we want to spice it up a little bit.
Yeah.
So the good news is we haven't had to do any of that kind of stuff.
That's fantastic.
Because every show is still so exciting, and as much as I don't think you can tell when you see us live, if we have been playing the same set for a long time, we do kind of inject these little tricks here and there to make us feel like it's fresh. Even though for the audience, obviously, every night it's fresh for them. So I'm sure we'll get to those in a couple of years.
What is the strangest thing the boys have dared you to do on stage?
The worst thing I had to do was at the end of a quite sort of softly sung emotional song, which is called Eyes Off You from our last record. It comes to the end of the song, and as it's fading out, I have to start scat singing. So I just had to start going, shoo-ba-doo-wop-doo-ba-doo. And everyone in the audience just didn't get it.
They're like,
they
"What's
didn't
happening?"
get that it was a joke. They literally thought that I had decided to spontaneously start scat
Oh
singing.
my gosh. Were you laughing while doing it, or very serious?
I had to keep a completely straight face.
So I could see you pulling one over on them. They don't really know what's going on, right?
It completely went over everyone's heads, and it was just a disaster.
Well, now everyone will know if you happen to be there on that night.
Yeah.
There was a story behind it. Jack just wasn't going completely off the rails.
They believed it.
Oh, as I mentioned at the beginning of this interview, you were the first band that I ever sat down with. And
Yes.
you really did give me that courage to go on and keep doing others. Because mind you, it definitely wasn't great. My first time on camera
I know,
for
you're-
anything.
You're such a
But
pro now.
thank you, I really appreciate that. But since it was my first one, and I reflect back on it, I think, oh my gosh, so much has changed. When you look back on that first Bombay gig, how did it go? Did it go as expected? Was it a decent show? Was it not so hot?
I think it was great. Yeah, I think we were like kind of taken aback the first time we came over here, because you are genuinely surprised that there's people so far away who know the words
Who
to your
take
songs
interest
and who start screaming at the shows. And so yeah, I think that moment is really special for a band, and you can never get it again as that first show in a new place. And just coming off stage and all looking at each other being like, wow, I can't believe that happened. Yeah.
Well, since I last spoke with you, we actually started interviewing wrestlers on the show. So I have to ask you, if you could have a persona in ring, what would it be?
A persona?
Yes, this
Oh,
persona,
my
a gimmick.
I have incredibly long, luscious hair, but it'll be a wig. And I'll do some headbanging, I think. I think that's probably what wrestlers do anyway.
True.
What would I have? I could probably just knock someone out with my scat singing.
Okay. Oh, so it's almost like you'd have like a mystical vibe to this character.
They would like hypnotize people
Okay.
into submission.
By the scat. I think we got something here.
They would never have heard scat singing so good that they would be frozen, and then I could just tip them over
This is wonderful.
and then start headbanging with my wig.
We need to put this into action
This
some
would be our next-
way,
Be
somehow.
our next music video, I think.
Beautiful. Glad that we could
And you
create
can
some
interview me
ideas
as
here.
a wrestler as well.
Ooh, now I'm psyched. Now you guys have to come back quicker. Well, that wraps everything up. I want to say thank you so very
No
much
worries.
for joining me. This band means so much, not only to me. My sister is behind the camera, 8th time seeing you
Shout
guys
out.
tonight. So yeah, we just
good to see
can't
you again.
appreciate you enough. Thank you.
Thanks.
My pleasure. And remember to everybody viewing, be sure to check out aliciaatout.com for all exclusive interviews and features. We will see you next time.